Hi, I'm Crystal.
And I'm Brandon.
And we just wanted to make an entire video dedicated to our fertility journey so we can really look back on this and hopefully be appreciative of where we were and where we are hopefully soon.
Yeah.
So I started birth control when I was 14 for acne, and I've always known that I wanted to be a mom and to have a family. So when I was 18 and I met Brandon, we talked from the very beginning about wanting a family and wanting to have kids. And so I figured that I had been on birth control for 4 years and that I should kind of give my body some recovery time. So I went off of birth control, and I also went off of some other anxiety medication and stuff like that I was on, just to really prepare and let my body really recover and figure itself out. When I first got off birth control, I had really weird irregular cycles. Some were really long, some were really short, some were really heavy, some were really light. There was no rhyme or rhythm, there was no pattern. I just thought that it was my body recovering from the birth control and trying to regulate itself, so I didn't really think anything of it. So in September of 2014, we both knew that we wanted to be together. So we figured that if it happened, it happened. We weren't trying, but we weren't preventing.
Yeah. We weren't any kind of
prevention or contraception or anything like that. In April of 2015, we started actively trying. And when we first started trying, we tried everything. We really committed. We didn't start out slow. We really tried everything. And I started taking tons of vitamins, prenatal vitamins. I had Brandon was taking vitamins.
Yeah, like a one a day type vitamin.
For the one that we read was good for sperm. And I took digitals and strip ovulation tests twice a day. And I had 2 different apps that I recorded everything on. My cycles, my ovulations, my basal body temperature I took every morning, my symptoms. We really tried everything. I was doing so much research. Anything that I read that was it might help, we were doing.
Which probably wasn't a good thing.
No. We really tried everything that you could think of, and I could go on and on about everything that we've tried. But I kept getting really confusing results. Like on the ovulation tests, a few months, it told me that the digitals told me that I had ovulated 3 times that month, or that I hadn't ovulated at all, and my basal body temperature was just all over the place. I mean, and my basal body temperature was just all over the place. So I couldn't really figure it out. There was no pattern, no rhythm to anything that was going on.
Yeah,
so
everything was random.
So it was really stressing me out, and I was obsessing over it, and it was just really hard. So after a few months of doing all of that, we decided that me stressing out and obsessing about all of these different things and all of these different results was just hurting our chances more than anything. So we decided to just stop doing all of that and just try a more natural approach. I mean, we didn't really go with the flow. I still kept taking vitamins. He still kept taking vitamins. And we had sex 2 or 3 times every 2 or 3 days, and then more frequently during the middle of the month when we thought that I might be ovulating. But I didn't track anything.
But yeah, I was pretty much guessing because of how random everything was.
Yeah. Well, we figured that if we did it often enough that we were bound to hit an ovulation.
Yeah.
So in September, I didn't get my period, and at this point, my periods were still irregular, but they were within 10 days of how long the last one was. So if it was 30 days, then it would be between 30 and 40. Still was completely random, still heavy or light. It was still really weird. But I didn't get my period, and it had been a really long time. The longest that I had ever gone. It was about 50 days. And I was having a lot of pregnancy symptoms, and I just knew that I was pregnant. I just had this feeling. And so I took a pregnancy test, and it was a faint positive. So we decided to wait a few days and take another one, and it was negative. And we took a lot of pregnancy tests. We probably spent $50 on pregnancy tests, and they were all negative. But I really didn't believe it. I was like, no, I am.
Yeah, you thought the pregnancy test was being funky.
Yeah, I just knew that I was pregnant. And so I went in to the doctor and demanded basically a blood test. And it came back negative as well. And so what they thought happened was I had a chemical pregnancy. And that was the turning point for me. That's when I really knew that we needed help and we needed to know what was going on. So we called the fertility specialist and we got in October. Basically, the moment that I was done explaining everything, she said that she thought that I had PCOS. And she explained to us that to be diagnosed with PCOS, you need to have 2 out of 3 factors. And the first one's symptoms, ultrasound, and then blood work. And I already had a lot of the symptoms. So we had an ultrasound done that day. And thankfully, that came back really good. She said that there was no cysts that were too concerning, but she also said that birth control is a treatment for PCOS, and so that could have prevented me for, 4 years from having any effects from it or from forming any concerning cysts. So she did order the blood work to confirm, and that did come back positive that I did have PCOS. And that was really hard for us, but it made a lot of sense, and it was kind of just the moment where everything clicked, I think.
Yeah, at least we knew
what
was going on.
And it made sense with so much of what had been going on my entire life. So that just made a lot of sense, and it was really good to know what was finally going on.
Yeah, it was good to know, finally.
And to know that it was something treatable. And so the doctor made a plan that day to treat us and with fertility medicine and that kind of stuff. And so she ordered some more blood work from me, and she also ordered testing for Brandon to make sure that we were not dealing with both male and female infertility. And he came back with flying colors.
My swimmers are healthy.
They told him that you needed 20 million and he had 90 million. So we definitely weren't dealing with any issues on his part.
Yeah.
So that was really reassuring though, just knowing that we weren't dealing with both. And also he had a surgery.
Yeah, when I was like 21, I think is when I had it.
No.
20
I was with you.
How old was I?
I think you were 20. You were 20.
Oh, I think I was 20. It was a hydrocele on my right testicle, but they said it wouldn't affect me having kids later in life, so.
They said that, but it was always in the back of my mind. Like, what if that might have something to do with this? Or what if that's another thing that we're going to have to deal with in addition to my problems? But then my blood work came back, and they told me that I was not rubella immune. So either I had never had the rubella vaccine when I was a kid, or it didn't
wore
take
off or something.
Yeah. So that was really frustrating.
Yeah. Another thing we gotta do.
Yeah. And I mean, it was just so angering because who has rubella? Who gets rubella? No one. I mean, that shouldn't even matter.
That one chance or that one case.
I guess that's what they were thinking, but they refused to treat me unless I got the rubella vaccine. And the thing with the rubella vaccine is you have to do it while you're on your period so that you know that you're not pregnant and affecting that pregnancy. And then you have to wait and protect for 30 days and then wait till your next period basically to start treatment. And that was really frustrating because at this point I was having 40-day cycles. So that's not 2 months to me, that's 80 days. And it could be longer, you never knew. So that was really frustrating. I waited for my next cycle and I got the rubella vaccine, and then we protected for the rest of that cycle. And then when I started my next cycle was when we could finally start getting things moving. The next cycle I had my HSG, and that was horrible. That's basically where they put dye up your
tubes.
Yeah, but it's a lot more invasive than that. It was horrible to see if the dye can flow through your tubes openly to see if you have a blockage. And I did pass with an A+, so that was really good that I was not blocked, but that was horrible.
Yeah,
I had cramping.
Bad.
I had cramping for days. It was horrible. But they also told us that we were more likely to get pregnant that month because, you know, you were flushed out, you were cleared out, you were more open. So I was really hopeful that maybe that's just all that it took. So they did blood work and labs during that cycle on day 21 to see if I ovulated, and I didn't, which was hard, knowing that,
Yeah, it was kind of surprising.
It was surprising because so far in all of the 4 months or whatever, 3 months that we had been taking blood work and seeing if I ovulated, I had been ovulating. It was just completely random times.
Yeah.
So that was really concerning, knowing that, it was worse than we thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
So then I started agestin to induce my period, and I took agestin 5 milligrams for 10 days, and then 3 to 7 days after that my period would start, my next cycle would start. So I did start my cycle on the 19th of January, and so that's basically where we are. So this is going to be our first month, our first cycle of treatments. They are starting with a less aggressive approach for this month because I am only 20 and they don't want to go in with harsh medicine if this will work. So this month we are just going to be doing Femera, and we are doing Femera days 3 through 7, 5 milligrams. And so I'm on my 3rd day of Femera, and we're not going to be doing any ultrasounds or any shots or anything like that this month. And then on day 21, I'm going to get my labs done. And if I didn't ovulate, then they are going to induce my period again, and we're going to start with a more aggressive approach. They're going to be doing Femera and ultrasounds and shots and everything. But if I did ovulate, then we wait for a period or a positive pregnancy test, and then we'll try the less aggressive approach again next month. And basically for 3 months, if I do not get pregnant after the 3 months, then they'll start doing the more aggressive approach. Or if within that time I don't ovulate for a month, then they will automatically start the more aggressive approach. We're basically just going to see if my body can ovulate on its own, and maybe this is all we need, and maybe we'll just get pregnant. Hopefully.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, it'd be really nice. So this month we're just going to really try to stay calm and relaxed and just ovulate. We're going to ovulate.
Try to stay relaxed.
And we're supposed to, she recommended that we have sex every 2 to 3 days, and then every other day towards the middle of the month, between day 10 and 18. So hopefully we get pregnant without having to use the more aggressive approach, but
yeah, because I don't want to have to give you shots.
We might have to have Brandon's mom do that. So thanks for watching, and if you want to continue on this journey with us, we'll be making some formal updates on this channel, but mostly on our other vlog channel. We're going to be vlogging updates and appointments and stuff like that. So hopefully at the end of this month there'll be a big pregnancy announcement. See you next time.
See ya.